Hello, hello. All right, so I just wanted to hop on and go over kind of what my Prep 2026 plans are and what my goal this whole prep is. So my big goal is to just make my pro debut, to make my OCB Bikini Pro debut and have a fun and rockin' season. What I'm thinking is, so these are tentative, so this is a tentative plan and anything can change because a lot can change between now and the shows. The pro debut show I am thinking about doing is the OCB Los Campeones, might be not be saying that right, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is on June 27th, which as of today is 23 weeks out. So that's why I'm like tentative, because a lot can happen in 23 weeks. So that's the one I'm looking at to make my OCB Pro debut. And I'm super duper excited. Lots and lots of time to make great progress. But that is not going to be my opening show of the season. I am planning to do the June 13th show in Des Moines, which is an NPC show. And the reason being is, as of June, I will have not stepped on stage for 2 years, slightly longer than 2 years. My last show was 2024, June 1st. And so by the time June rolls around, it'll have been over 2 years since I've stepped on stage. I'm going to be rusty and I'm going to be nervous. I get nervous before that first show. And as a pro, I get to go on stage once in the pro category. In amateur shows previously, I've been able to go on as a novice. This last year I was able to go on as a masters and then do the open. And I won't have that as a pro. I just go on for pro. And I need to get the stage rust off. I need to get the nerves out of my system, get back in the groove with competing. And so I'm looking at that NPC show to kind of be the rust shaking show. It's local. I don't have to travel anywhere for it. So that is June 13th here in Des Moines. It is a natural NPC show. So that's good. Even if it wasn't a natural show, I probably would have still done it since it's local and in a good time frame, because that'll be about 2 weeks before the OCB show I'm looking to do. And that June 13th, the NPC show, that is 21 weeks from today. So again, a lot can change between now and then because a lot can change in 6 months, but that is the tentative plan. So those are going to be my first 2 shows of the season. And I have 2 more shows that I'm planning to do after that OCB show in Minneapolis. And the other one I'm thinking about is OCB The Conquer in Las Vegas, which is in July. It's July 18th. So that would give me a few weeks in between that June 27th show and the July 18th to make minor changes, but some changes. And then my last show of the season, as of right now, is the Viking in Minneapolis. And that is on August 30th. That was such a big show this last year that they have officially now split it into 2 days. So my show, the women's show, is on the Sunday of that weekend, which is super weird. I've never done a Sunday show, so that would be something different. So that is about 6 weeks after the Vegas show, which gives me lots of time to make changes if I needed to. If I'm being honest, depending how I'm looking and how I'm feeling, I might try to sneak a show in between. Like 6 weeks is a long time. It's not a long time, but it's a long time in between shows. I think like 4 weeks is fine, but 6 feels like a long time. But we'll see how it feels like in the moment. So I don't even know. We'll see. But yeah, so thinking NBC Des Moines, June 13th is my opening show of the season. Get the rust off, get back in the groove, feel good, see how I look. And then pro debut at Minneapolis for the OCB, the Los Campeones Cup. Again, could be saying it wrong. And then OCB The Conquer in Las Vegas, which will be a show that I have to fly to, which is something I haven't done since my very first prep. My very first prep, I lived in San Diego and my show was in Omaha. So I did fly for that show. And then I stayed and visited everyone at home for a couple weeks. But that was the only show I had to fly for the show. Otherwise, I've done all local or drivable shows where I just had to drive. So that'll be second time ever flying for a show, which that's kind of exciting. And we like Vegas. We know we've done a lot of shows in Vegas. I've done I did my 2021 season. I did both of my shows in Las Vegas, and we were there a lot in that year because my coach was there as well. And yeah, we just like Vegas. It's fun. Good hiking as well. Maybe not in July, but whatevs. And then closing out with the Viking. So 3 OCB shows planned, 1 NPC show planned, and the Viking is just a driving show as well. But the goal is to hopefully get top 5 so I can qualify for the Yorton. If I qualify for the Yorton, that is on the maybe we'll do that show list. That is in September, so that would be like 3 weeks-ish after the Viking. So that would have any times for like little changes. Hopefully we wouldn't really need to make any. Like I'm already looking really good. We had a few shows to practice on before that. But the Yorton's only going to happen if I feel like I'm going to be competitive at the Yorton. But even to do that, I have to get top 5 at a pro show to even qualify. My big goal that's my goal. My goal is to do a pro show. But I would love to get top 3 or even win a pro show. Might be asking a lot. Might not be possible, but like who wouldn't want to win a pro show? That's freaking cool, right? So that's the big shiny goal that I'm really hoping for. Again, you can't control that. So what I can control is I am going to behave like a first place bikini athlete. So I'm going to approach this prep like someone that is winning first place. I am going to get all my workouts in. I'm going to get all my cardio in. I'm going to hit my macros 100%. Like I am treating this like, Sam, you want to win first place, act like it. And if I act like it, that's a win. Even if I don't get top 5, if I know I put everything I could and there was no stone left unturned, I'm going to be happy that I did everything I could, because you can't control the outcome. You can't control what happens on that day. You can only control really what leads up to it. So that's the really big goal. Like that's the controllable goal, but I'd love to get first. That'd be freaking cool. And if I'm feeling good, if I feel like I can be competitive, we'll head to the Yorton. Also this season, I do have a coach. I did hire a coach to work with. We're 1.5 weeks into prep now. I've been working with him for 1.5 weeks. I wouldn't recommend just getting with a coach, immediately starting prep, but my timeline shifted. I wasn't thinking I needed to start prep until February because I wasn't going to do a show until later. And then I changed my mind at the last minute and it was, hey, we need to start prep now if this is the show. Like I decided I was going to do, because originally I was going to just do the Viking, and then I'm like, well, maybe I'll do the Conquer show in July. And then it got bumped up to, well, there's the Des Moines show in June, and then that Minneapolis show in June, and everything got bumped up by like 6 weeks. So hence started with coach immediately after setting up the call, basically. So he's doing everything, cardio, nutrition, workouts, all of it. I didn't want to have to do anything myself. And the reason being is my other goal for this season is to come in as the leanest version of myself I have ever been. This is going to be the leanest version of Sam that has ever stepped foot in the world, ever, that has ever existed. And that's going to be hard. So 2024 prep felt pretty easy. I'm sure there were hard days, but overall it was a very easy prep. I was not burnt out, not even close to being burnt out at the end. I could have continued to prep. I felt really good. I was about 120-ish, 122 maybe on my peak weeks. And I think to be the leanest Sam and be really competitive on the OCB Pro stage, because they like their girls lean in bikini. They like really lean bikini girls. If you look at like who won the Yorton, who got second at the Yorton, they're very lean. And I was not even close to that lean in 2024. So if I want to be competitive against athletes like that, I need to come in as a very much leaner Sam. And I think that's going to be about 5 pounds. So that'll put me 115 to 117. And I think that 5 pounds is going to be hard. I think we're going to be low calories. We'll see. But I think it's going to be really hard. And I didn't want to have to be the one cutting my own calories and pushing in that moment. So I'm like, let's have a coach help me through that, because it's going to be tough. And it might not be. I am assuming it's going to be, though. I'm a little anxious for it, if I'm being honest, but excited to push, excited to prove that I do want to work hard, and really just bring the best physique I have to stage. I'm hoping to be a little bit bigger. I've had a little over a year and a half to grow, had some injury setbacks that kind of limited my lower body training somewhat within that year and a half, but not like for a whole year. It was just like a couple months here and there. So hopefully we made progress there. Worked on the upper body. Hopefully we made progress there. And then I come in leaner. Ooh, I can't wait to see what the package is going to look like. I am really, really excited. It's going to be a fun season, and I'm looking forward to pushing myself. I'm looking forward to embodying the person I want to be on prep. Another little thing I'm working on this prep is being more mindful and having more of a mindful attitude toward this prep and what I'm doing to get to where I want to be and reach my goal. And I'll talk more about that potentially in future videos, how I'm applying that and how I want to practice that and how I'm making that work with also being, on prep. But yeah, so that's the lowdown, is making my pro debut, trying to get top 5 and qualify for the Yorton. But ultimate goal, I'd love to win a show. Top three would be great because you win money, which I think would be really freaking cool. I don't know, it'd just be really neat to be like, I did a show and won money, which would basically pay for my entry. And if I got like first, it would pay for like my entry, my tan, and the hotel. So you don't really make money, but at least I wouldn't be, losing money on the shows, which is kind of a win, right? But yeah, be really cool. I'm gonna Bikini Pro debut. Gonna try to do 3 OCB Pro shows, 1 NPC show to open up the season, get the rust off, and then potentially maybe the Yorton if I'm feeling good, if I feel like we look good, if coach and I feel like I have a chance, if me, Justin, and my coach feel like I have a chance, then we will. Otherwise, probably call it after the Viking. Who knows? And then, yeah, maybe somewhere in there I'll sneak another NPC. That's already a lot, though. That's a lot on my plate. It's a lot of money, too. So, adds up fast. But yeah, maybe there'll be a physique update somewhere in this video from my end of week 1 check-ins. Really nothing changed from week 1 to week 2, though. Weight technically came down. I mean, obviously week 1 we only had that, but I weigh myself every day. So the week before I was down about 1 pound on average. And this week I've already seen a lower weigh-in than last week. So we're on the right track. Calories were lowered from week 1 to week 2. Mostly because I asked for my protein to be lowered because it was like at 160, which was a lot for me. Calories weren't real high, like crazy high. It was at like 2,100, but it was just, I didn't feel good trying to get that much protein in. It made me not feel great. Progress wasn't crazy fast, so he dropped me down to 140, which brought calories down to 2045, and I've been feeling a little hungry, so I feel like it's working. Cardio's 5 days a week at 30 minutes, and lifts are 5 days a week with 3 lower body days and 2 upper, which I've never done 3 lower body days. I like upper more, so I would give myself more upper days. But yeah, so that's exciting, and I think it's going to be a great season, and Justin and I are both really excited. I know I am. And yeah, let's bring the leanest, best physique I've ever had since stepping on stage ever. So happy you're here to join me on this OCB debut or pro debut journey. And I will catch you in the next vlog. Hit like, subscribe, turn on the little notification bell, and share this video. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.